This episode of the Pete and Sebastian Show is sponsored by Seed.
Whatever you're up to this summer, you better make sure you're bringing your microbiome with you too. Why would you not bring it? It's with you.
I don't know.
38 trillion bacteria that live in and on you are essential to whole body health. Seeds. DS01. Daily symbiotic benefits your gut, skin, and heart health in just 2 capsules a day. Guys, I've told you a million times, and I'm going to tell you more. Take the Seed. It's easy. My digestion feels good. My skin is looking like a baby. It's an easy routine, doesn't require refrigeration, and the case it comes in is great. Right, Pete?
Yeah, a little black tube. You can't beat it. Your body's an ecosystem, people, and great whole body health starts with the gut. Our gut is a central hub for various pathways through the body, and a healthy gut microbiome means benefits for digestion, skin health, heart health, your immune system, and much more. That is why Seed rules. Support your gut this summer with Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic. Go to seed.com/thecast and use the code 25thecast to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/thecast. Code 25thecast. All right, guys, this episode is sponsored by DraftKings.
DraftKings. Now, I play a bookie on TV, so it'd be essential for me to start this ad read off by saying, in a world of slot, reels, and blackjack deals comes the most play event of the summer from DraftKings Casino, featuring nonstop action and all-star cast of games, including A-lister Loki's Luck. This summer blockbuster is one you do not want to miss. Plus, new players can get $100 instantly in casino credits with just $1 wager, and all players get a blockbuster bonus every week. So sign up with the code THECAST and grab your popcorn. It's showtime, people. DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for your problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and other restrictions apply. New customers only. $1 wager to earn $100 in non-withdrawable casino credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at thecasino.com, DraftKings.com/blockbuster.
This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Correale and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Pete and Sebastian Show back up and running here. I'd like to welcome everybody in, wherever you might be, whether you're on a treadmill, on an airplane, maybe on the toilet trying to get away from your husband, your wife, your kids. Just need a little reprieve. Maybe you're watching this on TV with a glass of wine on the couch. I've seen that posted where people are watching this on TV with the lights dimmed down and a candle, like it's a movie night. Which is nice to see.
I've seen that as well with the outdoor screen with a little fire going. They show you ever get the photo where they show you can just see the wine glasses, the screen, the fire, and the feet with the legs crossed? I wonder if there's anyone laying in their bed right now in prison, just getting a few laughs before before they hit the mess hall.
You think we're available in prison?
Bro, we read that letter on the plane. Apparently, they're playing bocce ball, but they ain't getting the cast.
Yeah, we have a listener. This guy saw the movie about my father in prison. I'm just wondering if the Pete and Sebastian show is an option for entertainment. Say at a high security prison, they pop us on, and that's one of the options. I highly doubt it, but if there's any wardens out there that are listening, see if you could get us in the rotation at the prison yards to entertain some of these killers.
I would like to know, are there any corrections officers in the corrections officers lounge that listen to the cast before they walk back out down the hall, make sure all the doors are locked and lights are out, that would be interesting to know.
Yeah,
I saw the thing I was showing you that a cast listener sent where, that new show that seems to be popular on Netflix about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. In episode 1, around the 6:40 mark, they're like taking video of auditions, and somebody is done doing their video, and then, on a screen will show you everything they were watching recently. We were one of the things, whoever that was watching recently. So you never know who's watching. I think a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader watches.
You never know who's going to be watching. Speaking of watching, I have a recommendation for a series that I just started watching. I'm on episode 5. It's one of these page turners where you watch it, you got to see the next one right away, which I haven't come across one of these shows in a while. Jake Gyllenhaal in Presumed Innocent on Apple TV. Do you have Apple TV?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
They do high-end shows. They do big star shows.
Bro. I like Jake Gyllenhaal going into this thing.
Yeah, me too.
He's top 3 right now in my list of favorite actors to watch. And I go a step further. Peter Sarsgaard, I think his name is. Is that?
Yeah.
This guy is phenomenal. I'm sorry. Great.
If I'm not mistaken, that's. I believe that's Gyllenhaal's brother-in-law, right? Because I think he's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal. Peter Skarsgård.
I think it's Gyllenhaal. Is it Jake Gyllenhaal, not Gyllenhaal? It's Gyllenhaal, bro.
Sorry, if he was in my top 3, I might know it a little better. Is Matt Dillon still alive? What is Matt Dillon doing? I love Matt Dillon. I never see any Matt Dillon shit anymore. So
I don't know what
his
Matt
Apple
Dillon's
TV
doing.
show. Have you ever met Matt Dillon?
No. Rob Lowe, yes. Matt Dillon, no. I feel like those guys, I used to think they were one and the same, those guys growing up. Wasn't Matt Dillon and Rob Lowe in Outsiders, or was that just Matt Dillon? Was Rob Lowe in that?
Yeah. I believe Rob Lowe was in Outsiders. Tom Cruise was in it. Swayze was in it. Machio was in it. Yeah, it was pretty stacked. So anyway, that's who I think. Yeah, but Skarsgård's been in a lot of stuff. He's a great actor, man. I feel like that whole family, when they sit at the dinner table between Maggie and Jake and Pete, it's like real actor talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thespian talk. Do you consider yourself a thespian?
No, not at all.
You have to be, dude. You make movies. What are you talking about?
Nah, well, I mean, it's not like that's what it's not like I'm sitting there. I was actually passing by the acting studio that I used to go to when I first moved out here the other day. I was like, oh man, I remember when I first started there in 1998. I walked in, and there's people there that just, they go every day. They work on scenes, like actors.
Yeah.
They're acting during the day. They're like, hey, you want to work out this scene? I mean, when's the last time you worked out a scene? By the way, speaking of acting, bro, and we got to get this footage somewhere up on the Patreon. That movie you did with you and the hairdo. I think you were in an airplane. Remember with the big weight?
Yeah.
we gotta see.
We never got into that, man. That was right when we first started doing the cast. I got 10 grand for that. 2 weeks. I was so excited. We did a scene where we had to, like, I had that crazy wig and we had to, like, I was on a plane and he was the Red Baron and I shot him down. And now he's floating down as the Red Baron in his parachute as I'm biting in, because now after I shot him, I'm making a sandwich on the end of my plane. And as I go to bite into it in the scene, he floats by on his parachute and takes it from me. Now, he's a little person, okay? So they got to put him on, they got to put a thing on him, and with a crane, they like crank him up and bring him up off the ground. So now he's hovering over my face right here, and I'm on the plane. His name was Scott. How you doing, Scott? And when you're doing stuff like this, you have to have so much respect for the little person that, like, because, you know, you're doing a joke with a little person. So, like, he's hanging up there. Everyone ready to film? Here we go. And are you ready, Scott? Are you okay? And Scott was like, the harness is hurting a little bit on my stomach. Okay, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And now I'm sitting there because he's a little person. If it was your friend at regular height, you go, suck it up, fucking Scott. Let's just get the shot, all right? Jesus Christ, fucker. But because it's a little person, you got to be overly polite about it. Get him down. And then they make sure he's okay, and we hoist him back up. And then we finally get the shot, and we're all going to go out. We're on Staten Island for a couple of beers that night. I'll never forget it, bro. He comes walking by. I'm like, Scotty, what are you doing? We're going to grab a beer. Want to get one? I can't. I got to work again tonight. I'm like, what? I'm walking around. I'm like, where you going? He had the bag in his hand, and he's already half dressed as Superman. There's some restaurant having an opening in Brooklyn, and they hired a bunch of little people to dress as various superheroes and walk around, take photos with the guests. So, little person, man, that work is never done. This guy was busy, double duty, 2 jobs in one day.
Up on a crane, one in the afternoon, and he's Clark Kent at night. Jesus Christ.
You never know. Showbiz, baby. But yeah.
This show is sponsored by Shopify. Shopify. What's up, Shopify? You know that's the sound of another sale on your online Shopify store. But did you know Shopify powers selling in person too? That's right. Shopify is the sound of selling everywhere. Online, in-store, on social media, and beyond. Shopify's POS is your command center for your retail store. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify has everything you need to sell in person. With Shopify, you get a powerhouse selling partner that effortlessly unites your in-person and online sales into one source of truth. Track every sale across your business in one place and know exactly what's in stock. Right, Pete?
That's it. Connect with customers in line and online. Shopify helps you drive store traffic with plug-and-play tools built for marketing campaigns from TikTok to Instagram and beyond. Get hardware that fits your business. Take payments by smartphone. Transform your tablet into a point-of-sale system. Or use Shopify's POS Go mobile device for a battle-tested solution. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. You're not alone, people. Do retail right with Shopify. So sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/thecast. All lowercase on that, all right? On the cast, that's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/thecast to take your retail business to the next level today. Shopify.com/thecast.
Wanted to talk a little bit more about the tour. Some of your we went on that ship that we kind of gave people an insight of touring the ship, but we didn't really kind of get into it. We were in Norfolk, the first stop of the tour, and we got the USS Wisconsin tour. It's a Navy battleship that has since been decommissioned. And we had a guy who used to live on the ship during the Gulf War, and he is now gives these tours. Now, based on the tour of the ship and what these guys kind of lived through, whether it be the 9-person bunk closet that these guys were in, the no air conditioning, the confined quarters going up ladders through these little hallways and the doors and whatnot. If need be, if you had to enlist in the army, let's say the Americas were going World War III, we don't care. We need all men on board, regardless of age. Do you think you'd be able to swing being a sailor on the ship? Because the guy told me they have 19-year-old kids steering that ship. Could you do it?
Well, if you got to do one of the four, let's say it's like World War II, and you have a choice, but you got to be Army, Navy, Air Force. I don't even know if they have
World War III.
Oh, you're saying if we had a new war now?
New war.
Oh well, I'm sure they probably got way better setups on those boats now, right? Probably air conditioning, flat screens. You know what I'm saying?
That guy, this is U.S. government, bro. No. I don't think there's a movie theater on the USS Roosevelt in the Middle East. This is bare bones,
man. I feel like they're literally in their beds with, if not full on air conditioner, mini fan, full access to Netflix, all streaming services. First of all, that boat was so outdated, the USS Wisconsin. How about this for a fact to blow the listeners away? The guy told us for every 1 gallon of diesel, that ship could get its own length, which is like 700 feet. They're getting 700 feet to the gallon. They needed a 1 million gallon tank just to get out of the fucking harbor, bro. So, like, you don't think of ships now when they're out in the middle of the ocean and it's like a nice calm day. They're running on solar, aren't they? Got a little solar going. I feel like I'd love to talk to a sailor now and see if they have air conditioning. You don't think so?
No, you know what they should do. You know who should get in the ship business is Elon Musk. Can you imagine Elon Musk building a battleship? This thing would be, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It would act as a ship, and then all of a sudden be a submarine. It goes up and down.
Yeah,
and it's on electricity.
That's what the guy said in our tour. He said there's Russian subs right now deep down in the ocean, very close to our country, that we just can't see. We can't find them. We don't know they're out there. So it's what he said. And here's the thing too. What? Go ahead. You don't believe that?
Come on, what is a Russian submarine gonna come up on Santa Monica Beach and we don't know it?
Bro, I wouldn't even be surprised if Patrick's fucking Russian and he's an op. You have no idea. These guys are everywhere, dude. They are infiltrating everything. But there's a Russian sub out in the Pacific Ocean, probably off the coast of Washington, the state of Washington. You don't know about. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. This is crazy. I mean, that guy, by the way, the tour we got from that guy, what was interesting was somebody, I said, probably because it's from your camp, we got a private tour. Now, I think what we got to maybe discuss with Lindsay next time, a private tour doesn't necessarily, it means we'd like to see cool stuff that maybe the public doesn't get to see. It doesn't mean more talking. Like, there was a lot of, this guy was hitting us. The first stop, we were in the cafeteria. He was telling us about the mess hall. I mean, we were a half hour in before we even left that place. I was like, how long is this thing going to be?
Yeah, you look disinterested at least about 4 or 5 minutes into this thing. You looked like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to be here for a while. You had a look on your face which was not, I mean, I asked a question. I think I asked a question to get it like started because I felt like when the guy goes, any questions, you got to ask something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let me like, so, and then I think that opened a floodgate of question, and something that you said that was very funny. Like, as soon as somebody asks a question, everybody else after that thinks their question is going to be like a question that's going to like stump the group.
Right.
Or the guy's going to go, oh, nobody's ever asked that before, right? And I felt that there was a lot of that going on. And you know who was asking a lot of questions was Jock, the trainer. He was jumping on that, but he asked 2 or 3 in a row. I feel like you could only ask one question, and then it has to go around the horn until you could ask a question again. What's your take on asking a question too soon after your question?
I agree with that 100%. You can't ask another question until there's a few that have been asked. And here's my bigger problem with Jock, and I think a couple of other people are guilty of this too. They're asking questions. By the time they get the answer, they don't even remember what the answer is. They don't even care. It was just a dance. It was almost like you said, you did it up front just to be polite. When you open up right away like you did with a question, you're implying that we're yearning for more of this information. I was looking more for a visual tour, weren't you? Like a visual tour. And I read the room, like when you tell me that we're getting 1 gallon for 700 feet a gallon, that's interesting to me. But the first stop when we were in the mess hall, do you remember he brought us over to that little paper map? And he goes, this is what the compass guys used to use. And so-and-so, back from the day, he mailed this to me recently. And this was a chart graph. And I'm like, oh, my God, we're leaning over this thing 5 minutes in. What are we going to... Did I enlist? Am I in this fucking thing? Am I in the Navy right now? So, and the guy was really nice. And it was very appreciative. But it was just very detailed.
I think that map that we were showing, the type of attention that map got would be equivalent to if they had the Constitution in there. Like,
yeah. We were leaning over it like it was like Japanese just bombed Pearl Harbor, and we were trying to figure out which way we want to go to get there. It was like, right? It was like 10 of us leaning over it. And then he goes, I had a glass case built for it. The people that run the Wisconsin, they didn't even want the map. This guy's so into that boat, he had his own glass case made for it. So, but that was an interesting tour. It was, bro. It was just, like I said, detailed. But I think I would have to say I would go straight up Army. I couldn't live on that boat. I think I'd freak out. I couldn't do the planes because the minute, we're in going upside down, I'm out. And then the Marines, I couldn't do that because these guys are getting dropped off in all sorts of crazy places. I don't know what's going on, man.
I agree.
I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do
I agree.
it.
I couldn't do it.
What would you do if you got drafted back in the 1940s? Do you think if you got drafted for World War II and you got the letter in the mail that you got to go fight in the war, do you think in your little bedroom, let's say you're 18, 19, 20, you think you'd cry before you came out to have dinner with your family? And your father's like, we're proud of you, son. Serve America. You think you'd cry alone in your room?
I cried when I left to go to California.
I'm saying, but this is more of like Vietnam. If I got drafted in Vietnam, I'd just be looking in my mirror and go, go. I take all that back. I'd be driving to Canada so fast it would make your fucking head spin. Oh God, I can't imagine that, bro. That's such bravery. Jesus.
Well, these guys were enlisting to fight for the country. They weren't even waiting to get drafted. They wanted to fight for the country so bad they just enlisted.
Oh, well, imagine for World War II. If you're in your mid-20s in World War II and you're walking down the street without a limp or anything, everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing over here?" Right? Would you pussy out? What's your deal? Oh, I got flat feet. The fucking flat feet.
Oh, God.
I wanted to go. They wouldn't let me in. I couldn't breathe out of one nostril. So I got, it's like, big time. This show is sponsored by Seed. Whatever you're up to this summer, you better make sure you're bringing your microbiome with you too, man. Seed, baby. The 38 trillion bacteria that live in and on you are essential to whole body health. Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic benefits your gut, skin, and heart health in just 2 capsules a day. That's it, guys, 2. And I've told you a million times, and I'll tell you a million more times. when Patrick scrolls up. I like taking the seed. It's easy for my digestion. It feels good. And my skin, look at my skin. I look better than Jay Cutler at the bar the other day because of the seed shit. All right? Come on. It is easy. Come on. It is easy daily routine. It doesn't require refrigeration. And the case it comes in, it's beautiful. Nice little black tube. You take one in the morning, one in the night, whatever your system is. Just remember, your body's an ecosystem, and great whole body health starts in the gut. Our gut is a central hub for various pathways through the body, and a healthy gut microbiome means benefits for digestion, skin health, heart health, your immune system, and much more. And that is why seed is amazing. You know that, right, Sebastian?
Not only has every ingredient been tested individually in scientific studies for their safety, dosage, and benefits, the DSO1 formulation as a whole has been evaluated in 2 clinical trials. Support your gut this summer with Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. Go to seed.com/thecast and use the code 25thecast to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/thecast. Code 25thecast, people. All right, I want to tap dance a little bit around the tour here and some of the things that we didn't cover prior. So I didn't mention this to you because I wanted to save it for the cast, but I want to talk about the story about John Petrelli, my buddy, who went on a show, and it was a Survivor type show where they had 12 people, and he ended up coming in second place. He was not an Army Ranger or survivalist. He's a personal trainer, and he beat out all these people and came in second, right? And basically, the gist of the story is they drop him in, I don't think it was in Alaska, for
Vancouver.
12,
I thought he said British Columbia, like Vancouver.
British Columbia.
Yeah.
In the remote area, as they were landing, there were some grizzly bears that were there, and they couldn't even land. They had to loop around again. So
insane.
He was given a machete, basically, to survive. He ate fish. The fish that he did catch had another fish in it, so he ate two fish at once, right? So we were having this conversation on the plane, and you had asked him a question, and you said, "Listen, while you were there, did you masturbate?" Now I gotta tell you,
yeah,
I found the question to be I'm not knocking you for the question, but it felt a little out of character for you to ask that from a guy that you don't really know. Now, I didn't have a conversation with John about this or anything like that, and then I know you had a conversation about this with your wife, and she said, "What?" No.
Well, because Pat seemed to be a little, I don't know, just like really offended by the whole comment in general, which I listen, I know, and Jackie said the same thing. She's like, that doesn't sound like something you would ask, you know?
Yeah.
Which, like, well, you don't know what I'm asking. But here's where I was coming from with that. This guy's saying he's alone for 14 days in the woods with nothing but a machete, okay? That's a long-ass time. You got nothing, nobody, no TV, no nothing. You're looking to kill time. At no point in 14 days, just to like relieve stress for a half a second, there's like a sunny, warm rock. And I'm not like asking for any detail. My point is, what does a man do like to kill time for 14 days alone in the woods was my thinking, all right? I didn't realize just mentioning it put me in a category.
Well, first of all, it's a show where you're trying to survive, so you're looking for food. It's a game. You got to get from point A to point B. I don't think day 3, John was before he went in the river to make a raft to get to the other side. He's like, let me rub one out here, and then go across the river. I mean, what the fuck? How horny are you?
Have you ever read Matthew McConaughey's autobiography? It's something to live by, by the way. It's something to live by.
I've read it.
He discusses how he does that. Like, it's like part of life. Like, you got to do that to, like, stay loose, stay cool, stay mellow. So like, you know, where's John's head at? Anyone in that situation, I'm out. I don't want to get into this.
Wait. Bro. You're out in the wilderness with a machete and you're starving and you're telling me the first thing on your mind is, where can I jerk off?
No, but I will say, all right, I'm going to say it? I'll say it. If I was out there for 14 days alone, at some point I would lean up against an evergreen with a little sun on me. And yeah, I would definitely think of my wife, maybe as something pleasant. And I'd have a pleasant moment. Absolutely. And then I get right. I mean, especially if I just ate the fish and a fish, because I'm not going to be hungry for a while. I ate a fish and a fish. There's a perfect window. So, all right? Jesus. So well, I don't know. I mean, come on. You don't think like Davy Crockett ever jerked off in the middle of the woods? I mean, it's a no-brainer. You know? Absolutely. Thinking about that squaw that got away. Oh!
I get it.
All right, there we go. Let's clean it up.
But Pat looked like he was horrified when you asked the question.
Yeah, like, remind me to not have him in my foxhole if there's a World War III. God damn. One thing out of the blue. No, I don't think he was listening, really, but he just seemed disinterested. But, yeah, I don't do locker room talk like that. You don't usually either. You said one thing once about 6 years, maybe at season 6 of the cast, and I'm still having PTSDs over it. I don't even want to say it out loud, but because it's not how we roll. It ended with dump, and it was devastating. It was devastating.
Oh, cum dump.
Bro, don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Yeah, hey, bro, come on. That was when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, younger. Everything's relevant. You were still in your 40s, bro. Class it up. So I guess what I said could fall under that, you know?
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember that.
Especially when I added warm rock, like I'm telling John where he might have done it.
So, so we did that. We went to the ship, but other than that, bro, I had my family there, so there wasn't like any hangs. I wanted to go to that go-kart thing in Nashville. But I just had my family there. I couldn't really do anything with the guys. But in Texas, maybe we'll see some of the sights.
Speaking of Nashville, after the show, I was having a nightcap at the hotel bar. Lindsay and Mike were across the bar. I was with Matt and my agent, my booker, and I look up and I see across the bar a handsome guy like challenging me for the like best looking guy at the bar. And I got a closer look at him. It was Jake Cutler. He left a little earlier than me because I felt like he was feeling it and he was losing because I got the tan and all. I was like, take your second place looks and find another saloon, Jake. No, he's a handsome dude. Seriously, all kidding aside, I'm being jokingly conceited, folks. Yeah, but he was hanging out.
So he went to the show. I just read a message that he came to our show.
Oh, my God. Well, that speaks volumes. He saw me across the bar and didn't even come over and say, good job.
Well, you know.
I don't know if he saw me, but he was at the show. Holy shit.
Do you scan the bar and go, I'm top 3 here?
No, I assume. So if I notice somebody in my league, it draws my attention for a second. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying like when you saddle up to the bar, do you look around the bar going, "Yeah, I'm probably the best looking guy here"?
I don't have to. I assume. I just told you that. I'm pretty sure I am. And if I'm not, whoever's better than me will catch my eye pretty quickly. And if nobody does, then, trust me, man.
Oh, shit. So
hey, listen, don't get me wrong. There's moments you've come out where I'm like, is this guy challenging me right now? He's looking good. He's having a good night. Like at your own freaking movie, I looked like shit. I was dying. I was in a hospital bed the next day. It was not my best. I thought I was going to pop at that premiere. I looked like a fucking Ozempic patient. Yes.
Oh, shit.
So,
Yeah.
listen, overly conceited, but, I mean, come on. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. In a world of slot reels and blackjack deals comes the must-play event of the summer from DraftKings Casino, people, all right? Featuring nonstop action and an all-star cast of games, including A-Lister, Loki's Luck. This summer blockbuster is one you won't want to miss. Plus, players can get $100 instantly in casino credits. Instantly, with just $1 wager. And all players get a blockbuster bonus every week. So sign up with the cast, that's THECAST, all one word, and grab your popcorn. It's showtime on DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem, guys? Well, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or if you're in West Virginia, go to visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available as well for problem gambling. Call 888-78-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly, man. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. And void in Ontario. Eligibility and other restrictions apply. New customers only, okay? $1 wager to earn $100 in non-withdrawal casino credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/blockbuster.
I want to show you, speaking of football, I got a gift. I normally don't show gifts on the cast. I know you're big on like, hey, I got a mug, I got a this, I got a that. I celebrated a birthday 2 weeks ago, and I got a gift in the mail. The gift did not have a card. It did not have anything attached to it. But, I don't know if you could see this. It's NFL, right?
Uh-huh.
I want your take on this. You see this?
Is that a Super Bowl ring? What is that? It's a ring of some sort. I don't know what it is.
No,
though.
it's a cufflink.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
See? Cufflink.
Uh-huh.
You see the blue?
I can't see what it says.
Doesn't say anything. But do you see it's blue?
Yes.
Okay. What's your take on this gift? I'm going to read. These cufflinks are guaranteed to be crafted from an authentic seat from Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears. So, when the Chicago Bears remodeled Soldier Field, they took some of the seats and they made cufflinks. So the blue part is actually a seat from the old stadium. What's your take?
What's yours? This is what we've done. Like, hey, I don't have to say anything that'll hurt the feeling of the person who sent this to me. I'll just ask Pete his take and let him do it. I mean, I'm not. It's nice, but I'm not into repackaged stuff from a stadium, or I've gotten grass from the old Yankee Stadium, a piece of grass. It's like, you give me anything from like the founding fathers. Like if you told me that was like made from George Washington's chair that he, used to write his letters in, that would be amazing. George Washington's ass was on that. But you know whose ass was on that? Mike in construction for the local 729 who had season tickets.
Okay. Now, I left out a piece of information to get a true reaction from you.
Okay.
Okay? I'll give you another example before I even get into this. I got, when I played Boston Garden, they gave me coasters made out of the old parquet floor from the Boston Garden. So if I'm going to serve a drink, it's part of the floor. And this is going against everything that you and I discussed in the past, where conversation starters, piece of hair from George Washington, Guns
Sure.
N' Roses, like even when we went to see the museum at Fort Lauderdale. Remember? And then they have the hair of Elvis Presley, or they had somebody's hair in a
somebody's ponytail. I want to say it
Willie
was
Nelson's ponytail.
Yeah.
Conversation starter. All right.
Absolutely.
Now, my father and I and my family, when I was 10 years old, went to only one Chicago Bears game together. Right. I don't know how the hell he did it, but my father found out the seats that we sat in. And this cufflinks were made from one of the seats that we sat in as a family when I was 10 years old.
Wow. I mean, if it's all true, if like the FBI can investigate it and it all plays out that is the seat and everything, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So my father gave me this. Now.
Your father gave you that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a gift. Holy shit, dude. That is way different than anything I said.
The second part of that story was a lie.
Okay.
He didn't give me the gift. And these are not
acting.
and these are not the seats that we sat in.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But I did that just to show you how the same gift with the meaning behind it is a whole different reaction. The reaction you gave me when you found out these are the seats that we sat in as a family, and my father gave me this, was completely different than these are seats from the Chicago Bears old stadium, right? Same gift, different story, different reaction.
You sound like an acting coach right now. Literally, don't you? So you see how we do that, class? So if you add more to it, if it's just a thing from a seat, it's nothing. But if you say it's a seat that you and your father sat there, then we feel it as an audience. That's what you're doing to me, right? I almost said, how embarrassing was this? I went to see Larry Bird play against the Knicks one time when I was 10. My dad got us seats. And if I had cufflinks from the seats we sat at to watch Larry Bird in Madison Square Garden, that would be amazing. Thank God I didn't say that because, but okay, so now it goes back to the original thing, which is
Listen, I like it. I like the thought. I like it. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I have a piece of history here in this little box, all right? Now, would I ever wear the cufflinks out to a wedding? Maybe if I was going to a member of the Chicago Bears. Maybe if Jay Cutler got married, I got invited to his wedding, and I showed up with these cufflinks, and I told him, hey, it's from the old Chicago Bears stadium, these cufflinks. Maybe they'd have some meaning. But I don't know if I would wear these on a random formal party.
Right. Well, because once you finish telling whoever's around you what they're from, now you're just wearing light blue cufflinks. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if you wore those to Jay Cutler's wedding. He'd turn around and say to you, hey, you got the cufflinks. Nice. I think they're from him. I really honestly think that. And there's a bigger question here. Is anything found from an earlier time in like anything that's old, is it automatically a piece of history? Like, why is a chair from a stadium a piece of history? Just because it no longer exists, and when it existed, that was part of the stadium? So that automatically makes it a piece of, because it's like to me, a piece of history is, this is the pen that John Hancock went with, the big John Hancock, and everyone else was like, oh, Johnny's going big, this was that pen. To say this brick was in the wall of the building that John Hancock, I'm out with the brick. The pen I'm in, the brick I'm out. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be more intimate to me than just being a seat in the stadium. If it was Walter Payton's seat in his locker room, how about that?
This could have been, like you said, how many people have sat on this particular seat, and each one of those people had a specific memory from the game. Hey, I'm giving you some color here, bro. Where was this seat? Was it the first row? Was it the 17th row? Was the seat broken?
Yeah. You know what the biggest problem with bringing up gifts like this on the cast, and I've learned to do it less and less, is when you bring up gifts like that on the cast, so many people listen to the cast now, you can't re-gift that because they know you mentioned it on the cast. Whereas if you never mentioned it, you could slide that over to an uncle or a cousin. They would have thought you were the cat's meow, bro.
I'm giving it to my father.
I put it at 50-50. He's got any interest in it either. I put it at 50-50. I really do. I mean, a man of his age, what? I don't think, like, yeah.
Well, I'm looking to see.
And I'm obviously, again, to anyone out there who sent that gift, I'm just joking. We just take things and, like, you know, it's really a nice gift. And it's always, I don't know, what's your take on the anonymous gift giving, though? Like, no credit at all.
I know. Sometimes I get a gift and somebody will send it from wherever and nothing, no card, no nothing attached to it. I might know who sent this. I have to do a little bit more investigating, but I don't know. I thought it was the thought behind the gift that was kind of like, he's a Chicago Bears fan. This is a piece of Chicago Bears Soldier Field. I thought it was.
I
know.
know.
It was a nice thought. I mean, I know it's not like. No, you're not. Not joking. Come on.
Well, what about this though, man? What you take on? You ever have this? Like, you go to say to someone, "Hey, did you send me them cufflinks?" What? Oh, I got these cufflinks. No, it wasn't me. Now I'm like, I've had that. I've had people think I got them a gift and I didn't, and then I'm like, oh man, I should have got them a gift. I don't know, fucking shit. I don't do that. Cancer Fist did that. I mentioned something once. Next thing you know, in the mail, I get a book. He mailed me a book. He hasn't even asked me if I read it or anything. He doesn't put any pressure on me about it. But like, he's that kind of a guy. I'll just randomly send you something, you know?
I like that, and I'm going to incorporate this into my life. I've been reading some books lately. Listening to some books. And there's some books that I'd like to gift to people. Right? So
after you read them or listen to them, you mean? After you listen to them?
No. I want to buy 10 books of a book that I really like. It's called Undeniable Hospitality. And it's all a book about how to be hospitable, right? Now, if you were at my house, I go, you got to read this book. It's called Undeniable Hospitality, and I give you a copy, fresh, not read, fresh copy. Because I've had this done to me before, and I felt like, wow, this guy's got extra books he's handing out. I think that's a beautiful touch. Have one in the car. Even have a book in the car. Say you're talking at a party and whatnot. You know, I read this book, Undeniable Hospitality. And then later on, you go out to the car and then you bring it back in. I go, I got a copy of my. Take it home. What's your take on getting a book at a party or a random event that you didn't know you were going to get even a book? Like, now you got to carry a book around. What's the take on a book giving? No?
If I'm getting a book on the spot from you, I feel like you're just trying to unload a book. But if we get into a conversation and then a couple of days later you mail me a book or you drop a book off, that's huge. That's huge. And I feel I would never, ever give anyone a book that if I wasn't almost positive they're going to read it and love it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Cancer Fist was thinking. I gave a couple of looks at this. It's a bunch of interviews of people. I don't know if I'm going to love this thing. So, like, if you gave me a book, Undisputed Hospitality, and told me I got to read it, I would hope you would know what I would probably like and not like. Because if I read the whole thing and I didn't like it, that's a big task.
Yeah, I would only give you the book if there was a connection or we talked about it or whatnot. I think it's a nice leave behind.
A nice leave behind. Who's got books in their car? I don't think that.
I used to have
How about
cigarettes. I used to have cigarettes in my glove compartment, and I didn't smoke, just in case anybody needed one. I used to go to the Comedy Store, right?
Yeah.
Used to be hanging out in the parking lot, right? And then someone go, yeah, cigarette. He goes, nah, that's my last one. I go, I got one. And they're like, what? I go, hold on, let me go my car. Bring it out, give him a cigarette. And I didn't even smoke. I just had cigarettes in the car.
I don't know. I if you're telling me you're having a party and I'm at your house and I'm leaving your house with a book that you're giving me, that's heavy. That's something. I like that move. I also like the move where you give the book that's your book and say, don't even worry about getting it back to me. Just enjoy it. That's an interesting move too.
Something about a pre-read book I don't like. I don't like the fact that the book has been on. I didn't buy used books in school because of that reason. I didn't want to be affected by anything else somebody else thought about in the book they read, because sometimes the book would have notes in it. Sometimes they dog-ear the book. Like if they dog-ear the book on 68, I feel like I got to dog-ear the book on 68 because that's where they lost interest. You know, fuck that, man. I want a fresh book.
I get used books, same thing, and I'll see like something highlighted, and I just keep going, why were they so interested in this sentence? What was it about? You know? And who highlights a novel? Like, I got to remember what very odd. But yeah, man, books, there's no reason to buy a new book. Books, like, you get them for so cheap now, man. Bookstores, it's so fun to just walk through a bookstore and try and find a good book. I haven't read a book in a while, but the last book I read, I didn't bring this up on the cast, was the best book I ever read. And I passed it along to my father-in-law, and I swear to God, he read it in 3 days. It's 729 pages. And I said, Mike, so father-in-law, I said, if you're going to take this book, I'm going to tell you right now, you're gonna stop talking. You're gonna like bail on. You're gonna want to eat dinner by yourself. You're gonna get locked in, and it's hard to get unlocked. It is fucking unbelievable. It's a classic, and a guy named Mike Loftus, who I used to write with, the comedian, on Kevin Can Wait. He told me to read it, and I love it. It was made into a series, which I won't even bother to see. It's called Lonesome Dove, is the name of the book. It's 729 pages of small print, so you got to wear glasses. And it's basically about these two guys and their whole crew that live on like a farm in Texas, like a ranch. And they decide to do, back in the 1800s, and they're going to do one last cattle run all the way out west.
Oh, fuck you did. I tuned out, bro.
Tuned out?
Wow.
Dude, this book is...
I tuned out, bro.
Oh, my... Bro, wow. Are you... Oh, my God! What is wrong with you? I thought you were going to say this. What a setup. This is unbelievable. By the way, did you not watch Yellowstone with Kevin Costner? Did you watch it?
No.
Guy, you have absolutely, you're not in touch with nature and the West and none of that, man. You're just not. I mean, you haven't watched it.
Did you listen to that? Did you tune in or tune out? He said he listened to what you said. His brother read the book, thought it was excellent, but he's not that interested. We're in the same boat over.
Well then why would you give me your book if you're not going to respect the book I'm telling you to read? So what makes you think I'm going to read your book about hospitality?
I didn't say that.
I'm trying to offer up.
Listen, I never said I was going to give. Bro, I never said I was even going to give you this book. It's not the book I'm giving you. It's the book I'm going to give somebody that would appreciate it. So I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving you a book.
Okay, but are you going to? Oh, so you're never going to give me a book, or do you have a different book to recommend to me? Because if you want me to read whatever book you recommend to me, I don't know what my book turned you off. What part of my book turned you off? You'd love it. You would love it.
Maybe I would.
No,
but based on your description, 4 guys. I can't even recant what you even told me because I tuned out as soon as you said something about ranch. As soon as I hear ranch, I'm done. Gone.
Wow. Well, what kind of book would you be into? You'd be into. We're both into like mob books. We're both into those, right? Something with the mafia?
No, not necessarily. Is this a true story?
It's not a true story. There's a specific term for it, though. It's all based in truth. Like the rivers they cross, the things they've experienced are all factual things that could and have happened to people, but their particular story is fiction. But there's also a hooker traveling with them and a gambler, and then they run into this Indians they run into, and early on somebody steps into a snake nest in the river and gets bit. It's just never ending, bro. There's a scene with a grizzly bear fighting a bull. Oh my God, dude. You're not into this?
Never happened.
What do you mean it never happened? It probably has happened. So it has to exactly, I don't know. I think you'd really like it. You only do truth?
Maybe I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I like truth. I like truth. I'm like, oh my God, this really happened. I'm not into the whole fiction, like fantasy shit that somebody came up with.
You like to be able to repeat what you read out and about, and it's factual, so it's worth repeating, which makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, like, there's a guy, snakes fight who fought what? A bear fought a who?
Well, it's fake. Someone wrote it, and then you go, yeah, you're telling me a story? We're at a bar, and you're telling me a fake story?
It's like somebody telling me the dream they had last night. Oh, yeah, I was flying in the sky. No, you weren't.
Right. You like the fact that you could be like, Agassi didn't turn pro till he was 22 years old, right? Like something like that. That's fair enough, but it is entertaining.
Yeah. So this is what we'll do for the next cast. I want you to come. Man, okay, is that the book you're going to recommend I read?
No, but why don't we do this for the next cast? Why don't we have Patrick get us like a couple of pages of audio from each book, and we can just give it a listen on air and see who has the better taste, which one just sounds better. Sounds like it's worth, reading/listening to.
Patrick ain't going to do that. You buy the book on audio, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You clip a part of the book that you think is the best selling point. And it doesn't have to be this book. It could be any book that you think I should read.
Oh, I'll read it. I'll read it.
Or you could read it.
I'll re-record it. I'll re-record it beforehand. I'll give you a beautiful reading.
And I'll read my excerpt of the book. And then based on that, we'll determine whether or not we're interested in reading each other's recommendation.
Beautiful. About a page each. A little light music playing over in the background. Pick your page. We'll each give a read. And it's like a trailer for the book, and we'll see which one sounds like something I'd want to see. I like that.
Okay.
You're going to be blown away, bro. You're going to be blown away.
You wait to see what I'm going to fucking do, and based on what I'm going to do from the book that I'm going to recommend you,
mm-hmm.
and how I'm going to present it to you, the book might reach the #1 bestseller list at the New York Times. That's how much business I'm going to drum up from this book recommendation.
That sounds good, but listen, good luck with that. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't have to look it up. I know Pulitzer was won with the book I'm recommending. I believe a Pulitzer was won. So, put that feather in your cap. I mean,
the fuck does that mean? What does that even mean?
A Pulitzer Prize. I'm going to look it up right now. You know what a Pulitzer Prize is? It's for writing
Pulitzer Surprise?
The Pulitzer Prize.
The book won the Pulitzer Prize?
The Pulitzer Prize. Lonesome Dove. Did it win? Why? Is that not what it's called?
I didn't think books won the Pulitzer. It's I thought it's a person won. #1 bestseller.
Who is the Pulitzer winning novelist? Larry McNulty. Lonesome Dove by Larry McNulty. The Pulitzer Prize for distinguished fiction published in a book. Boom. He won a Pulitzer Prize. Yes, you get those for books.
Is he saying surprise?
You thought you had me. What?
Are you saying surprise or prize?
Prize.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
believe.
That's the assignment for next week. We are done here at the Pete and Sebastian show. Love that you guys are listening over at Patreon. Go over there. Again, we're not making a fortune over there. We're just trying to give you extra content. Tuesday nights, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, I believe. Loose Ends, which is a new segment of the Pete and Sebastian show. Sign up, $5 a month. You get the loose ends. You get the early shows. You get behind the scenes. Now that Pete's on the road, we're doing videos from the road up there. So people are really enjoying it, and
you get all the ads. Some people, they don't like to listen to the ads, so you over there you get the shows ad free as well. That's an important factor too.
Ad free.
Well,
Pete and Sebastian show, SebastianLive.com, all tickets for the It Ain't Right tour, which we will see you on the road. Take care. This episode is sponsored by Shopify. You know that sound of another sale on your online Shopify store, but did you know Shopify powers selling in person too? That's right, people. Shopify is the sound of selling everywhere, online, in-store, social media, and beyond. Shopify POS is your command center for your retail store. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify has everything you need to sell in person. With Shopify, you get a powerhouse selling partner that effortlessly unites your in-person and online sales into one source of truth. Track every sale across your business in one place and know exactly what's in stock. Right, Pete?
connect with customers, absolutely, inline and online. Shopify helps you drive store traffic with plug-and-play tools built for marketing campaigns from TikTok to Instagram and beyond. Get hardware that fits your business, take payments by smartphone, transform your tablet into a point-of-sale system, or use Shopify's POS Go mobile device for a battle-tested solution. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Award-winning help, people, not just regular help. Award-winning. So do retail right with Shopify. Sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/thecast. All lowercase, all right? Go to shopify.com/thecast, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level. Shopify.com/thecast.